What's happening, y'all? It's your boy Q Monster here, back at it once again. So, man, a lot of crazy news happened yesterday, or throughout this weekend so far, about this lawsuit going on with Marvel. Talking about we might be losing our characters from Marvel and everything. You know what I'm saying? Um, man, I don't know what's going on, man. Ever since the lawsuit with the actors, you know what I'm saying, with the girl that played Black Widow and Emma Stone. Yeah, ever since all that stuff, crazy stuff happened, and plus, I was hearing about, you know, Kevin Feige was having a problem with too, and all that stuff. So, I don't know. I don't know what Disney doing. Disney over screwing up stuff, man. I don't know, but it seems like they trying to work out this lawsuit of the lost these characters or something, these Marvel characters that may end up losing. I don't know. A lot of rumors going around. People been talking about it, so I'm just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So we better go ahead and check out with Comic Book Cast, see what he's got to say. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up and see what's up.
It seems like that as the hours continue to tick away after the announcement of the giant lawsuit Disney finds themselves in fighting over all of the Marvel characters, that we are getting more info and now some simplified info and corrections from the original reports. So the Hollywood Reporter did update the original story with a pretty big update on everything that's included. And this is going to be big. We're going to get into this on a whole different level.
On a whole different level.
So first up, let me just say congrats and thumbs up to all of you that are understanding why this isn't just oh, I'm glad Disney's gonna lose. I hope Disney loses. Disney bad, because, you know, if they lose, everybody loses. This changes everything. Goodbye, Superman, Batman. This will change literally the foundation of every IP, as I explained. Some of you are very well aware of that. So even if you hate Disney, they own the property. I think most people understand that. These are their characters that Marvel created. If this somehow literally ends up going the other way, anything you own at this point can be like, well, you don't actually own that if you created it. This would set a terrible precedent, which is what Disney is fighting against. So the Hollywood Reporter did put out an update on their story and a clarification, because many people were confused due to the wording. As I said, the wording is confusing. And they clarified that Disney is only facing the loss of full ownership. So again, we are talking characters, literally everything related to them, reverting back to the artist or the creator and not the company that they made it for. So this again would be like, for example, the Stan Lee estate owning whatever Stan Lee created or was involved with creating, meaning that other artists, creators, writers at the time, whatever character they were involved with, they could go, well, that's mine. So you're looking at characters like Captain America and everybody doing the same thing. How this affects everything else would mean that everybody then, if Disney, the big ones, lose this case somehow, and they don't own the ownership of what they bought and owned. And again, this isn't the first time Marvel has found themselves in these legal problems. In the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s, this was also the thing. It was just never this prominent or this big because they weren't this big, which is why many of those IPs and things got sold off and partitioned. Same with DC. This would fundamentally change everything. Imagine Disney and Marvel own Marvel, but they don't own any characters because every single estate or everybody that was ever involved goes, we want our character back. How does that make sense if they made the characters for the company? They were hired to do these jobs. Again, this is getting very murky, and I'm pretty sure that the wording on this and what is going to hit us when this goes more public and more in the spotlight is going to be all over the place. But it's going to be interesting to see if this goes to a full-on court, that's more public, and we get some of the details on what spills out over this and what the claims are and what could be brought to the table as an argument, and how this could affect other things, because this would be industry-wide impact. If suddenly, for example, Spider-Man, let's use him because everybody likes Spider-Man. People are excited that Spider-Man might never exist again. Be the same, and would be ripped away from everything, including Sony, and then pieced off or just sat on for years and ruined, like the Conan license, where it's just ripped apart to different corners and the IP is devalued. You guys, some people actually want that for Spider-Man.
But I didn't like Iron Boy Jr.
The implications here for Spider-Man would be huge, because that's the big one. Because think of it this way. The Stan Lee estate and the Kirby estate is both going to want these big claims on him, because that's the moneymaker. So what would happen if this somehow goes beyond Marvel and Disney and they lose it? Then you have these other two estates sharing him and could be piecemealed out for percentages, where one estate gets the comics, another one TV, another toys, another this and that, and it's partitioned out to whoever's ever been involved with the early creations and certain stories or certain characters, even in the IP. Meaning you could literally see a scenario where, if this goes as far as some people are saying it could go, where somebody says, yeah, but I created this villain, so I claim ownership. And then you have a character like Venom, where it was a fan contest that created that idea of the black symbiote. So technically, that could get brought up. This whole thing just gets murkier the more you look into it and the more you read into it. Make no mistake, if you read into it, it gets more complex the more you keep reading. It's just all over the place. But know that this thing is setting a terrible precedent and just a disaster for anything the fans might want. And I'm talking to the fans right here. This would impact fans, us as fans. We would get far less content. This could be a dismantling of the comic book industry if this thing goes a certain way. Why anybody would celebrate this, even if you're a I hate the MCU Iron Boy Jr. or I only like DC, thinking that this is good, idiotic. And what people need to understand, this would impact every corner of everything again. Like the video games, those licenses, everything has to be renegotiated. Everything goes back to square one. It goes back to the beginning, back to where everything has to be retooled. And again, the Spider-Man IP is the strong one here, but there's so much more at stake here because of how many people have been involved throughout history. And we've seen this before that could jeopardize everything. Do you guys remember, it was like a handful of years ago, where DC almost lost Superman? That was a thing. Remember, we learned that they had a contingency plan where there was suddenly a possibility within a week they could lose Superman, and they scrapped together a replacement hero that was technically Superman but not a name, and they were gonna like just bend the universe and be like, oh yeah, you're not Superman anymore, you're this new character. Like, it got that bad. They almost lost. And at that time, people were celebrating, be like, oh yes, DC can lose Superman, in such an ignorant way, because again, that would have changed everything now. And with how the rights to these characters go now, and the companies that own them, and everything involved, and of course the ability to be able to take a character and put it in the public domain after a certain amount of time, these IPs are all going to have their clock run out and will be public domain. But forcing the public domain to serve creators that will be able to pull things like that, and not the people that bought the rights out. I mean, technically then, if you buy something, this means you don't actually own it and the original person still owns it. I don't know about you guys, but I like the idea of, if I buy this video game, I own it in my hands, right? I can't have Capcom come up to me and be like, yeah, we take that now. It's like, Capcom, but I want to play my 19th copy of the original Resident Evil 3. And they're like, well, you do, but we're not going to let you because we want the money. And then Shinji Mikami comes in and goes, actually, that's all mine, so both of you don't own it. The hell is that about?
Man. Oh boy, boy. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. It's too much going on, man. It's too much. I mean, we was already about to lose Spider-Man at first last time. I think that was like what last year, because I mean, I forgot what was going on with that. I guess both of the companies were trying to fight for it and everything, trying to bring Spider-Man to the MCU and everything. Trying to keep him on the MCU and all that stuff. But now this is just a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? They talking about you know Disney over losing a lawsuit from Marvel and everything. Talking about they trying to take the characters that we all know and love that Stan Lee created, trying to take them away and do whatever with them. I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, y'all pretty much know the news more than me. I mean, like I said, I've been hearing about it, but I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. I don't know why this stuff is already happening now. You know what I'm saying? Since we about to be having Spider-Man No Way Home movie coming out December. And plus, we got Venom, Let It Be Carnage next month coming out, which I sure can't wait to see that. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know why this stuff is happening, you know what I'm saying, all of a sudden, knowing that we trying to be watching these other movies that's coming out later on this year. So, I don't know. This is just insane. I don't know what Disney doing, man. I don't know. And plus, the crazy thing, I was hearing about Disney trying to buy off DC. I'm like, I don't know how that shit gonna work. It's not gonna look the same. So I don't know, man. This is just crazy. Y'all let me know what's up, man. Like I said, I'm kind of lost here. Y'all, I mean, explain it all down in the comments below. Y'all pretty much know the idea of this, or y'all kind of just confused like me. I don't know. Y'all let me know what's up, what y'all think, man. That's what I really want to know. Just let me know what's up. And if you enjoy my reaction, make sure you hit that like button. Always subscribe and share it. And I'm going to catch you guys later, all right? Deuces.